Hi, I'm Dr. Steve Martin.
And I'm Laura Martin, and we've been married for 29 years.
In March. We moved to the area in 1995, and we have 4 children. We are believers in Jesus Christ. We're members at Riverview Baptist Church. I initially chose emergency medicine avenue because of the excitement. Every day, something new. But as time went on, the stresses of emergencies and working nights and working long shifts and working weekends got to me just a little bit. I thought, what could I do where I could still use some of my skills, but back off just a little bit? And urgent care was a natural progression, and that is for many emergency medicine physicians as well. In urgent care, you have a little bit more time to interact with patients. You can get into a little bit more of their life story and things like that, and I actually have enjoyed that.
6 or 7 years ago, we thought about opening a clinic. I think you felt like, I can't do this all on my own. We need another doctor. We had a little grander idea at that time of what we could offer, almost wanting to be sort of a standalone ER more than anything, and all those things came into our minds, and we decided probably not the right time. In 2015, that was when a job came available at the urgent care at St. Mary's SSM. So then you got to watch our son's soccer games and, just had a more normal schedule. And
for some reason, for multiple, I was enjoying less what I was doing. I had the thought of actually leaving medicine totally. So it seemed like that brought us to that point where it's time to make a change.
I about fell on the floor the day that he came home and said, "You're not going to believe this." But I think I'm open, to opening a clinic.
I think any business, the biggest one is debt.
We both tend to be, I think, a little bit, we like security. So I think that was an obstacle just to sort of overcome, have faith, just really say, okay, if this is what God's leading us to do, we can figure all the money part out. We can figure out, it's going to come together. We have to just start taking steps in the direction of believing that this is going to happen.
I guess the next piece of the puzzle was the equipment. We were sitting around in the initial discussions on clinic and acquiring medical equipment. She had told me a story about a friend of hers named Jill Carter who was with a charitable organization, and they were gifted a hospital, which is an interesting thing. And I said, hey, I wonder if your friend Jill might have some ideas on getting some medical equipment. And at the time we were just thinking, the first thing that had come up were exam tables.
I texted her and I said, hey Jill, do you happen to have any exam tables? And she's like, exam tables? Do we have exam tables? And she happened to be there and she starts taking pictures of everything. And she said, we've got to get all this stuff out of here. We have no idea what we're going to do with this. And I said, well, can we buy some of it or have some? She said, you can have it. It was that moment I just said, we've got to do this. We have to do this.
Yeah, very clearly a provision of God. I was talking to our clinic manager one day, and I think he actually brought it up. He said, I know you're starting this clinic. Are you guys going to be doing x-ray? And I immediately saw where he was going with it. And I said, well, we really would love to, but x-ray equipment is extremely expensive and it's prohibitive in a lot of clinics just because of the expense. And he said, well, we have the x-ray equipment in the building here, and we're going to have to get rid of it. We're not going to keep it. But if you have a need for it, we can talk about a price and you guys can become owners of it. And that's exactly what happened.
It's very humbling, the amount of people that want to help us. But our church family has reached out to us. So many people have come to us and said, what can we do? What can we do? We want to help. We want to help.
I'm a little difficult at receiving help, but they will not stop offering. And so just recently I got in contact with the gentleman and said, hey, I'm going to take you up on your offer if that's okay. And immediately yes, that's what we want to do. We want to help. We've made the decision to be cash only in our payments, and so that excludes insurance, generally speaking.
Chasing after Medicare and Medicaid and insurance payments, and I think people just really underestimate the amount of their healthcare dollars that are going to administrative costs, and we're not going to have to do that. We're going to be able to pass all those savings along to patients. The other cool thing is that we're going to be able to be transparent about our prices. That is very unique. When we were designing the clinic, we just were looking at different spaces and what do we need space for, what do we need space for, and I somehow thought we need a prayer room. And maybe that'll become something different. I hope that some of our church members or people, maybe they will say, hey, we want to come and pray for patients while they're there.
We can let them know, hey, we're not going to be able to solve all your issues. We'll do our best to solve your acute problem, but we want to introduce you to somebody that can solve all your issues. And just to be able to share the gospel, to share Christ with them, have that time to do that, that's probably one of the things I'm looking the most forward to for sure.
We're the Martins. Welcome to the Lighthouse.